Everybody, and welcome to Scouting the League. Today is all about the college football playoff championship game. It is the Miami Hurricanes versus the Indiana Hoosiers, and this is what I'm going to be looking for. But of course, before we get there, make sure you head over, like, subscribe, share this podcast wherever you are listening and watching. Hit those buttons and give us that 5-star review. Most importantly, share this one with a friend. If you love ball as much as we do here on Scouting the League, then there probably is somebody else in your life that does it well. Make sure you make 2026 our best year as you made 2025 really end on a strong note. Share this with a friend. Continue to get the word out there on what Scouting the League is bringing you every day and every week. Make sure you head over to Twitter, give me a follow at RightStepADV. Leave me comments, leave me notes, let me know what else you want to hear in the future. Make sure if you're a scout or aspiring scout, you head over, check out thescoutingcommunity.com for a number of resources that is going to continue to push the scouting community forward. Whether you are a scout or aspiring scout, we got something there, so go check it out. And then make sure you check out our partners over at bluemaca.com. Check the show notes for that and that code scouting20 that'll give you a nice discount, and let them know we sent you. The insoles that upgrade your shoes, improve performance, whether you need that improvement or you just want those recovery insoles that will make your shoes more comfortable, like the ones I wear. Head over to bluemaca.com and use code scouting20. So the Miami Hurricanes versus the Indiana Hoosiers face off next Monday, the 19th, a matchup I don't think anyone predicted. If someone says they did, ask for proof. Second-year head coach Curt Cignetti and quarterback Fernando Mendoza continue to keep that perfect season rolling after a blowout win versus Oregon, a really dominant game. Not only was it what Indiana did, it was also a little bit of what Oregon didn't do. Again, one more to cap off really a dream season and really an unbelievable 2-season run for this pairing. But of course, they have a lot more pieces in place besides the quarterback that has made it all work. But again, head coach, the quarterback, always going to get a lot of credit. So we're going to continue to see if Oregon can do that. On the other side of it, Miami loses twice in 3 weeks in the middle of the season to Louisville, and then SMU now has won 7 straight. This is a Miami team that's got a lot of juice, some of it coming from the sidelines, a lot of momentum. They've got a lot of really good things going for them, but we're going to see where it all ends up. So what am I going to be looking for? Don't let anyone tell you they watch everything. Can't watch everything. What will I be watching for? Situational matchups. That's always going to be one of the things I'm watching. At first and second down, again, I may be watching the backfield. Depending on the formation, maybe you're looking at a running back. Maybe you're just kind of sitting back and watching the game, seeing some of the stuff on the periphery. Try to watch trends. Again, if you are tracking, if you're just kind of keeping track in your mind, hey, man, this seems like a really pass-heavy. Maybe this seems like a momentum changer, maybe a shot here. Again, try and think ahead. Try to anticipate what you think may be happening, should be happening. That will direct your eyes. Maybe you'll see some stuff that other people around you are not seeing. But again, as far as big trends go, again, bully ball from this Miami offensive line. This is an offensive line that is really playing well. They, again, beat up, kind of controlled a really good Ohio State defensive line, a very good Texas A&M defensive line. They are going to look to keep it rolling. Again, Ole Miss played a little bit different stylistically, but you've got some bully ball from Miami offensive line versus what has been an undersized and highly movement-oriented Indiana defensive line. Again, this is where if Miami can keep possession of the ball, if they can control the line of scrimmage, if they can keep moving the ball, keep it close, eat the clock, bludgeon the Hoosiers on that defensive side of the ball, they certainly have an advantage. Again, that's you really saw it show up versus Ohio State. It's really been the game plan. Run the ball, control the clock. You certainly see that, hit the shots when they need to. So I am very interested to see how that Miami offensive line handles and controls that Indiana defense line, which has some talent, maybe not that top end talent that we're used to seeing from these national championship defensive lines. But again, they play so well as a unit. They are so well oiled. Again, Coach Haynes, who I got a cup of tea with at Ohio State during our time there, Again, he's really got that Indiana defensive line playing well as a unit, front seven as a unit, but they are a bit undersized. They do rely on movement. Again, if this Miami offensive line can control the line of scrimmage, 3 to 4 yards a pop, maybe hit one every once in a while, that is going to allow them to move the chains, control the ball, keep the ball a little bit out of Carson Beck's hands, and keep it out of Fernando Mendoza's hands. Certainly that's going to be one of the big things I see and want to watch is how does that line of scrimmage shape up. Another thing I'm going to be looking at, again, neither head coach in this one is a primary play caller on either side of the ball. Again, a little bit more common at some of these top programs at the college level. Again, it's going to be a conversation piece moving forward. Are NFL owners taking notice? Again, if you listen to previous episodes of Scouting, they talk about the leadership, what is needed in that head coaching position more than just a fantastic play caller on either the offensive or defensive side of the ball. Again, you've got great leaders who insert themselves where necessary on either side of the ball in this matchup, but really put it on their coordinators to get it done. Again, we're going to see really good head coaches that really have control of their programs, who you can see the programs taking their philosophy, kind of taking their personality, and that is going to be a fun one to watch. And the conversation that comes out of this, whichever way it goes, you're going to see a couple coaches really, really highly respected on both sides. Of course, one of the things I'm going to watch always comes back to the quarterback position. We've got two guys who at different times have been the number one overall pick. Again, fully expect Fernando Mendoza to be that guy to the Las Vegas Raiders in the 2026 draft. But before that, there was a time Carson Beck was QB1. And that's Carson Beck in the 2 losses, 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That's obviously going to tell you a lot. 4 interceptions against Louisville, not going to get it done. In his wins, 27 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Again, easy to say the turnover battle matters. Of course it does. But even in those losses, when he's throwing interceptions, completing nearly 70% of his passes. So again, as long as he can keep the ball out of the other team's hands, he's going to be fine. Also want to point out, he's 1-2, 1 win, 2 losses when he attempts 40 or more passes. His only win when throwing more than 33 pass attempts came last week against Ole Miss. I believe he had 43, 46 pass attempts in that game, somewhere mid-40s. The rest of the season, 33 attempts was his high. That happened 3 different times. Carson Beck, again, he has come back to himself. They have him playing good football. Again, a surprising thing that Ohio State allowed him to get in a rhythm early in that game, because again, the playbook, if you want to call it that, the report is out on Carson Beck that when he gets rattled, that is when he tends to throw the ball more to the other team. Again, he's gotten comfortable. When he hasn't been comfortable, they've really taken the ball out of his hands. Again, Ole Miss was really the anomaly as far as that goes this year. So again, expect, going back to that bully ball offensive line, take it out of Carson Beck's hands, let him make the down the field, the play action throws, let him throw in a rhythm when corners are in off coverage, when there are wide open players on the edges, let him get the ball out there quick and try to win some one-on-one matchups. Otherwise, I expect that attempts number to be down around 30. If that is the case, if Carson Beck's only attempting 30 or so passes, Miami is going to be in a great spot to win this game at the end. And then again, on the other side, you're talking Fernando Mendoza, who has been nearly perfect all year. Again, he's really won every award. He's checked every box. He now has the task of facing a front, which I would argue is probably the best of the year in terms of what they do, the way they get pressure, the way they bring pressure, and the pocket that it's going to bring. Again, Fernando Mendoza has answered every question along the scouting path to this point. Again, a guy who I went back and said, this guy's traits are good traits. Middle of the year, I wasn't ready to crown him number 1. Again, I think he has certainly taken those steps. He has answered the bell at every toll. again, as the scouts, I talk to more and more scouts about him. He checks every box off the field, which again, unless you're doing the character work, talking to quarterback coaches, talking to past coaches at Cal, talking to everybody he's ever worked with, you're not doing your work on your franchise quarterback. The scouts are certainly doing that. I haven't done it. I'm relying on scouts to do that work for me as they're in the buildings. They're digging on those sources. But again, everybody, again, answers all the questions. He is QB1 to the Raiders. Again, another chance to show the pocket presence. And that is what I really want to see from Fernando Mendoza. He's really been kept clean for the most part. Again, if you want to point anything to some of these, that offensive line has really played well, really kept things clean. Again, even after that big shot against Ohio State, he has turned around and really just been comfortable in a lot of ways back there in the pocket, made the throws he needs to make. And again, when they control the game, they can run the ball, they can really mix it up well. Again, it's going to be a big question whether they can do that against the Miami defensive line, and they will get pressure. Miami will find a way to make things a little bit uncomfortable. So I'm really interested to see how Fernando moves in the pocket, manipulates the pocket, extends plays just a little bit, moving up, moving back, left, right, again, moving around to extend plays. Again, it's been a really good thing. This O-line for Indiana has been praised. Of course, any national championship game, any high-level football game, you can always point to the trenches, say that is going to matter in that game. It's certainly going to matter in this one. Again, D-line, front seven for Miami has certainly controlled games. Again, I think it's going to be the case. Again, really, you want to point to things. Again, ball control, clock control, then Miami has to capitalize. Again, with all of this, again, Miami has less margin for error. Again, if they're going to play bully ball, control the clock, control the line of scrimmage, when they have the chance to get 7, they've got to get 7. It's going to be hard to win this game if they have to settle for 3 down the stretch. Again, probably going to be some 4th and shorts that they're going to go for and try to convert. Again, it's going to be on Coach Haynes and that defense to get them off the field. If they do have a chance to kick, got to convert. Again, for Indiana. Again, it's just going to be going back to the formula. Play really consistent, clean football for 4 quarters. Let the other team make mistakes. Keep control of the ball. Again, low scoring leans itself to Miami having a chance late in the game. But like we saw in this Oregon game, a snowball effect could lead to Indiana running away with it, because all of a sudden Indiana gets up maybe 10, 14, 17 points. Ball's all of a sudden in Carson Beck's hands, and that is when we have seen issues with this Miami offense, with Carson Beck turning the ball over. Again, ultimately, I'm going to pick Indiana to win this one. I think it gets a little bit away from Miami. I think they're going to struggle to finish drives down in the red zone. I think we're going to see a lot of Malachi Toney trying to get him the ball underneath in space, try to make some plays. Again, ultimately, I think Indiana's just a better team that has the better signal caller and just has everything work in their direction. So I'm going to take Indiana in this one, but I expect a really good, hard-fought game. Expect 2 teams to be punching each other over and over. But again, we'll see where it all shakes out. College football is a beautiful game. We'll see a bunch of NFL prospects in this one, including what I expect to be the number 1 overall pick. Again, a top 15 pick in Ruben Bain, as well as a number of players on both sides of the ball doing really, really good things. But what do you think? Let me know. What are your game predictions? Who is it going to be, Miami or Indiana? What's the score going to be? What are the things you're looking for? You're going to be focused in on situationally, third down. Who's going to be the guy that gets after the quarterback? How's the quarterback going to play in the pocket? And who is going to make the crucial mistake that allows that momentum to swing the other way? Head over, Right Step ADV. Let me know on Twitter. Let me know what you're going to be watching. And in the meantime, don't just be watching the game. Just keep on scouting it.